play Angry Birds on the on the smartphone. So I'd earlier asked a question about how many minutes was it according to the American Academy of Pediatrics, how many minutes was it appropriate to expose kids who are under 2? And the answer to that is 0. According to and the corollary to that is, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, what is the amount of time spent by infants and toddlers in front of a screen actually? And the answer might shock you. And if you think you have the answer to that, give us a call, 770-1550, 510-770-1550. And our next guest is Meenu Arora. Meenu has over 10 years of experience teaching and working with kids, and she recently wrote an article about the challenges of technology as a parent in the most recent issue of India Currents magazine. Welcome, Meenu.
Thank you, Vidya. I'm glad to be here.
Now, Meenu, the statistics are actually alarming, regardless of how we may rationalize the use of computers with our kids and how we think that it's going to really enhance their creativity and help them use it as a tool and as a resource. But the fact is, our kids end up watching a lot of TV on the computer, and maybe using the computer more as another passive medium rather than as an object that they can use to improve their educational, improve their education. And tell me what prompted you to write that article for India Currents.
Well, yeah, today it's been a very busy world for all the parents, and working with kids for 10 years and having a 7-year-old at home, looking at how much time these kids are spending on the TV and playing games on computers, and with the proliferation of all the video games, it's been a challenge to have my son away from the computer, away from the TV, and it's been very hard for me as a parent. So I did some research and found out ways how I can limit the screen time. So the first thing I did was that I started having time limits on how much time he could spend in front of the TV.
And you said you have a 7-year-old.
I have a 7-year-old. Mm-hmm. So initially we started, and even my friends are doing the same thing, that we had some set time limits, like 30 to 45 minutes of screen time in front of the TV. And but since he went to 2nd grade, I saw that there were a lot of negotiations cropping up and saying, no, just this last thing I want to watch and then it'll be over. But from 2nd grade, what we did was that TV and computer just stay off on the weekdays. Okay. So Monday to Friday, there are no room for negotiations. The TV and computer is off on.
I bet you're not a very popular mom. So how difficult was the adjustment to make? When you made that rule, did you have a tantrum on your hands?
Initially, it was hard for him to adjust, but now, luckily, everything is in order. He knows that he will follow this rule all the time. Mm-hmm. And on the weekends, we have set time limits. The other thing that comes up on the weekends is that if he displays very good behavior, he's done with all his homework, his schoolwork, his other activities, practice, and he can earn more time on the computers. Mm-hmm. Or on the TV. So it's been very good. It has been rewarding experience. And
is he exposed to computers at school?
Yes, he is exposed to computers at school. Not much so. I mean, I have been hearing Vijay and Sheena talking about it, but not much so in such a creative way. I know in school he has a computer class once every week, and they end up giving English language and math tests on the computers.
Oh, I see.
But in Campbell Care, which is his after school, he goes and he does get exposed to playing games again. Okay. So keeping that in mind, that he already is exposed to computers in Campbell Care, in his after school, and really he doesn't need any more time on it in the evenings on weekdays.
And you said in the article that he earns time.
Yes.
And you just mentioned that does he have to do chores to earn that time?
No, not really. Even if he is doing his extra work, he's earning his more extra credits, and not really all the house chores, but yeah, at least cleaning up his room, keeping things in order, and having to do his guitar practice, which is one of his enrichment activities. And not only the work, but also his other activities. If he practices well, does well, he can earn good amount of time, and then he becomes becomes more responsible in showing his best behavior and doing all his work before he actually comes to the TV or the computer.
Because so media is a privilege.
It's a privilege.
Which he earns through doing certain things.
Yeah.
Now you've heard Vijay and Sheena talk about, the amazing things kids are doing with computers, the access that they have. I mean, does this make you feel that maybe your child should be exposed to some of the more positive sides of computers?
Definitely. I would like to go into these programs, Logo and Scratch, which I have just learnt about, and definitely give him hands-on with this. And talking of iPad, we already have installed some photography and different apps, which would be a good exposure to him, rather than just playing Angry Birds on.
I think Angry Birds is
Angry Birds is very popular.
And hypocritical in a sense, because I think I've played it too, and then I find it very difficult as a parent to to tell my child not to do something when I'm doing it myself. And I think Sheena touched upon that, and I know your article did too, that unless you can be role models to your kids, it's not going to, your message is not going to really get across. And that means a huge sacrifice on our part. I have to tell you, if you had to tell me, don't watch any TV so that your child doesn't watch any TV, I would have the first withdrawal symptoms, to be very honest.
A lot of the things I would say that a lot of children grow up to be like their parents. If the parents are high-tech on their laptop all the time, then the children also want to do the same thing. And looking into this, I try to postpone a lot of my things that, okay, I'll do it when he's asleep. I'll do this when he's asleep. But ask me that I'm sometimes sleeping before he does. So, and talking of good role modeling, there are some parents who are addicted to watching news, come home, switch on the TV, start watching news, but they then turn to forget to shut it down. And TV should not be used as just a background sound in the home. It should really have been a good role model. Watch your show, switch it off, and then share the family time together.
And the other thing that you had provided, you said it's a really good thing, is provide alternatives to media exposure. And, I think that's where parents sort of fall down on the job, because it's so easy to say, just do your 30 minutes and while I'm cooking or I'm doing something else and I have to answer my email, spend 30 minutes on the computer, and you think that, your job as a parent in terms of keeping them occupied is done. But you've gone the extra mile to provide actual alternatives. And can you share some of those ideas?
So just not provide computer and TV as virtual babysitters there. There are a lot of enrichment activities out there depending on the interest of the child. I would say that each child should be exposed to at least 1 or 2 sports recreation activities and 1 or 2 music activities. Like all parents, I thought my child would be happy to learn piano, but he himself suggested that how about guitar? And we opened those avenues for him. We have him enroll in a guitar class, and he is doing really great. He is practicing. He's spending time practicing. We're taking him out. He has a concert next week. And not only with music, but with sports like karate activities and swimming. There are a lot of things if the child likes to play baseball, skateboarding, ice skating. They're depending on how the child feels about it, what he develops his interests in, how much time parents can give in order to bring and take the child to these activities. We can, it gives me immense pleasure to say that even if I can alternate 1 hour of his TV or computer time to alternate it with some other enrichment activities where he can become more physical and learn more, it gives me immense pleasure if I can alternate these.
Well, we are pretty much coming to the end of our show. Thank you to our guests, Vijay, Sheena, Meenu. We had some really interesting viewpoints where we talked about how computers can be used as a really positive resource and a tool for creativity. At the same time, some realistic ideas on how to manage the time that our kids spend in front of a screen. I want to share a really scary statistic. There's a study that found that 6-year-olds who spend the most time watching television using a computer or playing video games had narrow arteries in the back of their eyes, which is a cardiovascular risk. So maybe, Vijay, we haven't really evolved yet. So we are still in that middle process where our thumbs are going to hurt and our eyes are going to get hurt and our kids are going to need glasses.
RSS. Repetitive stress syndrome. There you go. And that's all for our show today, folks. We are going to wind up now. You've been listening to ICC Parent Talk and Kids and Technology. Our next show is going to be about getting young kids as well, to volunteer and get into the spirit of giving.
Any comments, please do send them to us at radio@indiacc.org, or you can write on the Radio Zindagi Facebook page.
What happened? You look stressed out.
Yeah, just worried about my mom and dad.
Why? What happened?
What to do? All of us are so busy with our school and work activities. All mom and dad do is watch TV. Just worried they will soon want to leave US and never come back.
But why aren't you sending them to the ICC?
ICC? What is that? And what will they do over there?
ICC, the India Community Center, they have a fantastic senior program located in Milpitas and in Cupertino. ICC seniors have spawned the highly successful Jollywood Dancers Troupe, a theater group, knitting club, computer classes, and so many more activities. They also have a special Indian lunch and celebrate festivals and make so many friends. In fact, my mom also has started doing Bollywood dance. She now visits us every year so that she can go back to her ICC. It's her home away from home.
Really? Wow. Thank you so much, Meena, and I will get them enrolled today at the India Community Center. Now, no excuses not to come to the US.
.50 AM KZDG San Francisco.
Asha for Education and Just Style bring to you Ecstasy, an evening of Indo-Jazz fusion with sitar maestro Pandit Habib Khan and saxophonist George Brooks. Join us for an unforgettable musical experience at Spangenberg